I'm Luke and I live life for adventures. So subscribe and join me on my next epic adventure. Previously on My Epic Adventures, I sailed the sailboat Genie from Oman to the Maldives. On this episode, we discover and travel the Maldives. Well, we're gonna go look at this little town and see what we see. We've made it to Bara, I think it's called.
Ah, something. It's quite a nice big island.
Our first little Maldivian town. We're just gonna go walk around. Well, we've come to the little island of Barachu. It's really cute. We've anchored just offshore. We've had a little walk around town. We've met a few people and had a few chats. And it's really cool to see how people live and work. And it seems that the ladies sort of run the sort of landscaping and the farms and the fruit farming and all of that. And the men work at sea on fishing boats. And everybody's just really placid and happy and not really interested in asking for anything. They just wave and smile. Proper island life. What a cool experience to see how people live like this. It's so peaceful. I feel at peace being here. It's the middle of the night, 4 o'clock, and weather is terrible. Wow, we are getting blasted. We are so lucky we are on in a good anchorage where we are now. We're seeing 40 to 50 knots of wind and pouring rain.
The weather is absolutely crazy. We've got 50 knots plus in the anchorage and a torrential rain. And I'm going to go on deck and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Woo! Wow! It is crazy! I can't believe this weather. It's amazing. It's insane. Torrential rain with gale force winds, and it sort of drops down to like 30 knots and it peaks up to about 50 every now and then.
We've been at anchor for almost 4 days, just trying to stay away from the storm. We do have more bad weather on its way, but we're going to try and move the boat south. Hinivaru is where we're going to go. It's about 80 miles away, so we're going to sail through the night tonight. It'll be on the Indian Ocean, the Indian side of the Maldives, so we'll be in open ocean, not sailing through the atolls where you have confined waters, you know. So it is risky, but it's a calculated risk. So we're fishing at night on anchor. We've got you can see the glowing green and blue underwater lights that we lowered down, and we're catching a few pick-handle barracudas around the boat. I don't know why, because we can, I guess. But it's pretty cool having these lights. We're hoping for a bit of squid to come around the boat later. And maybe we can get some calamari. Well, I've gotten up because our anchor alarm has gone off. And it's quite a unique situation. What's happening here is that we've actually anchored obviously on the coast of a small island here, but there's a big channel that runs between two islands, and we're obviously anchored on the one. We have very, very strong tidal currents pushing us one way and very strong wind pushing us from another side. So actually the bow of the boat is pointing sort of in between the two. Just to sort of starboard side of the bow is the current and tide pushing towards us, and on our port quarter is 25 knots of wind coming at us. So the boat's kind of side onto the sea. You can hear the slapping of the hull at the back of the stern with the waves hitting the back. the anchor chain is not even, it's quite strange. It doesn't lead sort of towards where the anchor is. It goes straight down and to port. Famous for the Maldives, I think. I've heard of this, I've heard sailors talk about a lot of this. So it's 3:30 in the morning. I've gotten up and I'm just going to do an anchor watch for an hour. The wind is gusting somewhere between 23 and 30 knots. I've got an anchor alarm on my phone that's on, and I've also got our chart plotter on with a separate anchor alarm there. So you can see our yellow, the yellow marking is where we've been, is our trail and our track. So you can see how we've swung around almost from one side to the other side of the arc. But I feel like we're still in position. I feel like the anchor is still set very well. And the situation is we just have to monitor it now. So the boat will always face in the direction of the force that is greater. So the current pushing on the boat is obviously a much bigger force of the water and friction on the hull and the wind over the top of the boat. A little unique situation. Wind against tide in the anchorage. Never a good thing. Not sure if you can see behind me this huge rain squall coming towards us. Huge cumulonimbus cloud dumping rain on the sea surface, and it's coming right at us. A lot of rain and a lot of wind about to hit us. Check. Wow. 40 knots of wind, lots of rain. Wow. It's averaging about 36 knots. Gusting up to about 46. Supposed to get inside the channel, and I'm just not willing to go inside an atoll channel in these conditions, so we're just riding it out now. Man, the last week, last 5 to 7 days, some of the heaviest rains I've ever seen. Wow. We've had multiple times during the day of over 50 knots. Yesterday we had maybe 4 or 5 times, the day before the same. The weather in the Maldives in May sucks. It's really bad. You got to really know what you're doing, especially around the anchorages. Oi! Well, we've got guests coming. So it's super stormy, rainy, and we're catching bloody Dorado. Let's go slow. Nice one. Well, we caught a Dorado, got him to the boat, and then I sort of gaffed him a little bit badly underneath his jaw, and the hooks pulled out. So he's a lucky fish. He gets to swim for another day, and we're not too bothered, to be honest. No. The weather is insane, but here we are doing our thing. Well, we are arriving in Hulhumale. Wow, it's been an intense trip. Lots of bad weather. We're still facing a lot of bad weather, but we're on our finals coming into Hulhumale. Well, we've arrived in Hulhumale, and it is busy. Wow, there are boats everywhere. We've got our agents in a little sort of speedboat in front of us. They're going to take us to our anchorage. It's a bit hairy coming in here. Wow, there's no rules. People just exit and enter as they please. And as quickly as we've come, we're going to leave. We've handed over a few documents, and we're going to choose to go to the Crossroads marina, just because this harbor is terrible. It's very windy. The mooring ball that we were supposed to come onto was all tangled up. Very unsafe. It's very busy, very dirty. So honestly, we prefer to either trust our own anchor or go to the Crossroads marina. So we've made plans to do that, and we're going to get out of here before nightfall and head over to Crossroads, the Hard Rock Hotel.
You've got an interesting morning. It's only like 8 o'clock in the morning. What you busy with?
Toilet pump. Oh my goodness. We've had issues with our second toilet, and we've had issues with the valving, we've had issues with the macerator, and this is actually the macerator pump. So the macerator side of it's working fine, but the electrical pump side is not working. It's actually like stuck. So it's either burnt out and sort of seized, or the brushes inside have come off and it's not really touching the coils anymore. So early morning toilet pump mission. Today I'm doing a terrible job. One of the worst jobs I can think of on a boat is cleaning bilges. So we've had a bit of a fuel leak. The reason for that was the way I put the fuel gauge back in the last I tested it. I didn't put it back on perfectly, so it was leaking out of the top of the fuel gauge, and it tended to lead quite a lot of fuel into the bilges, and this sort of steps its way forward towards the deepest part of the boat. So today I'm cleaning up all that diesel, and it's boiling hot, and it's a horrible job. Oh, anyway, it's got to be done. I'll get it done. Hello from the Maldives, Crossroads. We've been staying in this beautiful marina for the past 3 days. We've needed the rest, to be honest. And look at this facility, absolutely incredible. Crossroads Marina is it's only about 5 to 10 nautical miles away from Maldives. And you can see there's some really big boats over there. It's a really great marina. They've been really accommodating to us. We've got all the facilities that we need. We've had a couple of really nice nights out at the Hard Rock Cafe. Last night was a full moon party. It's given me a chance to sort the boat out with a few things. It's been a nice stay. Our plan is today to go out of the marina towards a small island called Maafushi. So Crossroads so far has been a fantastic experience. I highly recommend it for all boating people, and we hope to be back really soon. Well, that's us leaving Crossroads. We're on our way to Maafushi. It's been a fantastic stay. We'll be back here in a few days, but we're on to our next adventure. Let's see where it takes us. Well, we've made it to Maafushi Island, and I've dropped Eugene and his friend off at the hotel. I've come out to the anchorage here. It's a little deep, but I've managed to anchor the boat nicely. I'm going to take the dinghy ashore to the beach and go cruise around town, and I've arrived on Maafushi Beach. The boat is anchored just sort of into the sunset there. I'm going to leave the dinghy on the beach and let's go and see what we see.
Well, I've got a coconut, and then I just asked them, it's not as sweet as other places that I'm used to, and they said, no, this is Maldivian coconut.
Yeah, okay, well, let's try.
Good taste.
Yeah,
Different. Yeah?
it's not sweet, it's
Yeah.
sort of more bitter. Is what it is. Second day here in Maafushi. I stayed on the boat on anchor last night looking after the boat. I'm on my way back to the island now to go do some filming. I've got the drone and a few goodies in my backpack. Let's go see, maybe we can find some breakfast, walk around town, and get some good film. So you're going to take me around the island to just have a quick look?
Yeah.
And you can tell me about your island.
All right, now.
Okay, let's do this.
So this is the main road, like which we call.
This is the main road.
Yeah.
Oh, before. Okay, center road.
Yeah.
Is a ladies' school and man's school different?
No, it's like mixed.
Mixed. Okay. And mosque also mixed?
Mosque there will be partition.
Okay, separations.
Yeah. And this is the health center. We do not have a hospital, but this is the health center that we have.
Okay, so there's a doctor and a
Yeah.
nurse. And I've been told a story that there's no dogs in the Maldives.
Yes.
This is true?
Yeah, that's true.
And no mosquito. There's mosquitoes?
Yeah, mosquitoes are there.
They are there. Okay. Tell me about this big prison.
Yes. So this is one of the largest prisons in the Maldives,
Yeah?
and it occupies, let's say, around 1/3 of Maafushi, and it's really huge.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Good.
I appreciate it.
All right, man.
You must follow my YouTube page.
Alright,
You will be
man.
on YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. Maafushi Island is unique because most islands in the Maldives are either resort islands or local islands where Maldivian people live. This island is both. There aren't any resorts on the island, but there are multiple hotels. And obviously there's a lot of Maldivian people living on this island, operating the dive centers and the hotels, etc. Interesting things about this island is that there's a massive prison here, and apparently it's where all the worst Maldivians go. So says my friend Farah. There are no dogs in the Maldives. 0 dogs. Which, if you know me, you'd know that I'd kind of like that. Farah said that a catamaran came here a couple of months ago and they had a dog on board the boat that they had saved in Thailand, and it was the first time he had ever seen a dog. There are no cars on this island, well, very few cars, and it seems that in the Maldives they use boats as cars, but more specifically on the islands they use little motorbikes as cars. So it's so cool. Motorbikes here have thousands of uses. They're like people carriers, they're cargo carriers, they're delivery bikes, they're things for fun, they're things for work. It's so cool to see the motorbike being used in a million different ways. And so we're doing a braai, anchored on a reef. Wings is kind of our thing though, right?
Oh yeah, wings is so easy and it's lovely. I just love the taste of it.
Yeah. We're at a little reef just ahead of us here called Sexy Sandbank Reef.
Yeah, sexy sandbank reef.
That's where we're anchored, Sexy Sandbank Reef. And we're just gonna chill here until sunset, make our way back to the anchorage, but first, wings.